So let's talk about these things real quick. Tumblers. If you start laser engraving, whether it just be as a hobby for yourself, just to have fun things to do, or like me, if it's part of your business, I guarantee you are going to be asked to engrave tumblers. When I first started doing it, it was one of the things that kind of drove me crazy, and I would kind of push the work off or try and set it up for a time when I knew I wasn't going to have that much to do, because my very first laser was not really great for doing tumblers. It did a nice job on the tumblers, but it was really a pain to set it up. And then I had to have it running open, and I would have to wear glasses because my first laser wasn't in any kind of enclosure, and it just wasn't optimum for doing these things. And I kept saying to myself, hey, if I get more lasers, maybe one day I can have a setup that's specifically for doing tumblers. Well, I want to talk to you about one of the best accessories that I have seen so far for doing tumblers, and man, has this sped things up for me. So the RA2 is the normal tumbler attachment for the xTool S1 units. Now, they made a upgrade unit to that has a laser center and a pitch control. That is honestly one of the best accessories if you want to do tumblers and do them fast and get everything perfect and make life a lot easier on yourself. You want to check this out. So check out this video. It's all about that accessory for the RA2. Now, the other thing you will need, I don't talk about it in this video, but you will need the extended riser to be able to do tumblers. You're never going to fit the machine, the RA2, in here without the riser base. So just know that you do also need the riser base if you're going to do tumblers in your xTool S1 style lasers. But honestly, I have not seen this great of an accessory in a long time. It really makes doing tumblers a joy. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so let me show you why this accessory is so great. So for one, if you have to do a wrap on a tumbler, it's very important to have it level. And this makes leveling your tumbler a whole lot easier than it is with all the other attachments that came with the original unit. You now have a pitch control, so I can pitch this up, and by using a spirit level on top of my tumbler, I can then get it in exactly the right level for wherever I'm going to do the engraving. Where else is this important? Well, it also is a huge time saver for placing things on a tumbler. Or say you have something like this one that's already engraved and the person wants to add something to it. So I have a person that wants their name on this Yeti tumbler, and they want it centered on the part of the Yeti name here that kind of sticks out a little bit. They want it put right here. Now let me show you why this is so great, because before, trying to do this could be kind of challenging to get it just right and would take a lot of like little fine adjustments. But with this new attachment, let me show you how easy it is. Make sure it's in there good and snug so it doesn't fall. I don't need this on there right now. Okay, and that feels pretty good. All right, so now I'm going to take my centering laser and I'm going to put it where it goes, and I'm going to turn it on. So now I have a nice little line in there. I'm going to shut this light off just so you can see really good what's going on here. So now what I want to do is I know I want to center it on this Yeti part here. So I'm going to turn this to where it's centered. Now, I measured this before, but I'll just show you real quick. So this Yeti lettering comes to 6 centimeters. So 3 centimeters would be perfectly centered, which 3 centimeters is right at the edge of the E. So I know if I put my centering laser right on the edge of that E, now that I am perfectly centered. So now the next thing I want to do is align my laser head. So if I come over here and I put my laser head on that, and now I just want to straighten all this in the crosshairs. Okay, so now I know I am perfectly straight on the correct axes and everything is lined up perfectly. And you can see my little laser's going right down across the edge of that E. And that's going to give me my center line. Now, what I can do, which is really cool, is I can now come down here and go put my laser head right there. And now all I have to do is go into my software and I can see exactly where that's going to be because of that laser head being placed right in the right spot. Okay, so my friend, her name is Cheryl, and she wanted just her name in nice simple font right above those letters. So I'm going to type her name in here. She wanted a very simple font. She said Arial was totally fine. And here's Arial. I do think I'm going to change it to all caps. I think that'll look better. All right, so there's my Cheryl. And I'm just going to turn it 90 degrees. And I'm going to check that. And we're good. And then if I come down here and now line up on my mark, that should be exactly where I want it on my tumbler. Now, I do have to come back in here because we're not using on the base plate. We are on the rotary. So I got to make sure that's correct. We are on the chuck. I know the perimeter of this is 282. 282. It'll throw in the diameter for me. I will have to do a distance check. And to be sure, I'm going to check my leveling here real quick. Might be a little off here. I'm going to raise this up because I want to level right back here where we're going to be doing the engraving. All right, so that adjusted things a bit. So I'm going to move this again. I'm going to come up a little forward. So that's where I want to be, right on that tip of that E. I'm going to remeasure. So now I'm going to measure the distance. I'm going to click down. My laser's going to take my measurement. There we go. It's moving back into place. All right. So now I can look at my software on my computer here. My little crosshair showing me where it will be. And I want to make sure I don't want it to hit that Yeti part. I want it just above it. So we're going to go just above it. And she doesn't want it really big. So we are currently at 18 millimeters wide and 100. Okay, so actually that's height. So it's 18 millimeters high by 100 millimeters wide. And that's way bigger than she wants this. She wants it quite small. So I'm going to shrink this down significantly. So I'm just going to measure it out real quick because I know she said she did not want it big. So we were talking like maybe around 3.5 centimeters. She didn't want it the big giant letters. So I'm going to go, I'm thinking about 3 centimeters would be about what she wanted. So now I'm just going to change the size. Now I'm going to do a framing again because I just want to check and see if that's closer to what I wanted. I think it will be. And that was definitely too small. Oh, I know. Duh. I measured in centimeters and I forgot to do my conversion to millimeters. This should be 30. One of these days I'll figure out the metric system there. Okay, so here we go. I'm like, why was that so small? Now I know why. My mistake. So I'm going to move this up a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm hitting framing. Okay, so now we should have a little bit more we want. There we go. And that looks perfect. That looks like exactly what I want. I am now going to close my lid. I'm just going to set my parameters here. I have been using a 28 power, 120 speed, 1 pass. My lines per inch was 300, which is pretty high. Probably don't need quite that, but it actually worked out really well on the last engraving. So we're going to go with that. I'll just show you the setting. 121 on the speed, 28 power, 1 pass, 300 lines per inch, and we're doing bi-directional. And we should be good to go with that because that has worked out great on our other Yeti tumblers. Alrighty, all done. So I just wanted to quickly check it before I pulled it out. It looks to me to be perfect. So I am going to take my tumbler out exactly where we wanted it, perfectly centered. It just needs a little cleaning. And I always like to use Mr. Clean eraser. I usually wash them inside when I'm totally done, but this is basically just the shop cleaning. And there we go. We got our name exactly where we wanted it really quickly without having to do all kinds of crazy stuff and tape and take weird measurements and things. This makes it super easy to get done real fast. Hope you guys like that. I'll leave a link in the video description to where you can get the accessory for the RA2, and please like and join my channel and help me grow my audience so I can keep coming out with more videos and things to help everybody into laser engraving and knife sharpening. Thanks again. Hope you all join. Have a great day, everybody. As always, I will try and leave any relatable links to products and things that you saw in this video in the description of the YouTube video. Just go to the description and take a look in there and look for the links. I will also leave a link to my running list of products and things that I use in my shop. That is located on my website. You'll see a link to that there. And it has almost all the tools that I use on a regular basis. And if you don't see something that you're interested in, you can send me a message and I will try and find it for you.